Hey guys, it's Travel Nurse Rich. So not everybody knows this, but in this video, I'm going to go over the 6 different styles or ways to do travel nursing. So that way you know what your options are out there, because most of the time when people think travel nursing, they just think of that one single way to leave everything behind and travel the US, but that is not true. And you're going to find out exactly how you can do it too. But let's not waste any more time, and we're just getting straight into the content. The first style of travel nursing, I'm going to call it the Nomad. This is the style where you pack your things and travel the US. So if you don't have any ties that bind you to any area, and you dream of just traveling the US, leaving the known for the unknown, and taking vacations while you work, then the Nomad is going to be the perfect style of travel nursing for you. This type of travel nursing screams adventure. This is the exact type of travel nursing that everyone pictures when they first hear about travel nursing. But I'm going to break down these different types of travel nursing into pros and cons, so let's find out some of the pros and some of the cons with the Nomad style. So some of the pros for the Nomad is that you don't have to worry about any of the weird tax rules that go along with travel nursing, because in this style, you're not going to maintain a tax home. You are just going to up and go. You can pursue any high-paying contract you want with this method, and you can be on the road as long as you want, which in other words means freedom. But not everything is great for the Nomad travel nurse. Here are some of the cons. With this style, you actually become what's called an itinerant worker, which means you do not have a tax home and you don't maintain a tax home, which therefore means you won't qualify for stipends. So while you're on an assignment with another travel nurse, the chances are that other travel nurse will be making more money than you because they're qualifying for stipends while you are not. But since you have the freedom to choose a contract anywhere in the US and you don't have any restrictions based on location, you can pursue the high dollar contracts. So it kind of all balances out in the end. But one of the big problems with being a Nomad travel nurse is sometimes you get lonely. The second style of travel nursing is Nomad with a family. So Nomad with a family is similar to the Nomad. However, this is perfect for you if you dream of traveling the US, you like the idea of leaving what's known for what's unknown, you love taking vacations while you work, and you have a family that you don't want to see ever. Well, or maybe you like seeing them, but you have this weird mindset to where you feel like you have to sacrifice everything. It's like the dad who's never around because he's too busy working and the kids are all like, "Daddy, Daddy," you know who you are. With that being said, let's get into the pros and cons here. So some of the pros are you have the highest potential of earnings as a travel nurse with this style of travel nursing, because you maintain your tax home, meaning you qualify for stipends, plus you can go anywhere in the US and find the wage that fits you, which a lot of times can be through the roof. And because you have so many locations that you can choose from, you'll likely get exactly what you're looking for in a contract. But the cons. Your family is one of the cons. You'll pretty much never see them doing this style of travel nursing unless you decide to take months off in between contracts. But that's enough about the Nomads. Let's move on to the third style of travel nursing and change it up a little bit. Style number 3, we're going to call the family traveler. This is where you buy a camper and you take your entire family with you. If you love the idea of traveling the United States with your family in a tiny little box, also known as a camper, then this is going to be the style of travel nursing for you. Some of the pros of this is traveling the country in a camper is actually kind of fun. And you never have to worry about being lonely because your family will always be there with you, or your animals, or whatever you bring with you in your camper. As you can see, I'm making this video from a camper right now. Another bonus, you can stay in warm areas year round. You don't have to deal with anything cold. Unless that's your thing, and then you can deal with everything cold, but I don't know who would ever do that. And you will be able to make some amazing memories with your kids, especially if you have young kids. So here's some of the cons to look out for if this is the style that interests you. Living in a camper is no bien if you're claustrophobic. On top of that, if you have kids, finding a way to homeschool them while you travel the country can be annoying to say the least. And on top of that, convincing your entire family to actually pack up their lives and travel with you is next to impossible. But other than that, it's great. Now onto the fourth style. This is what I call the keep the family at home and go travel nursing. This is actually what I do. So if you want to make travel nurse money and you want to keep the ties in your community that you already have, like a family, a house, all those things, and you're not interested in uprooting everyone's life just to go pursue travel nursing adventures, or if you have a spouse who you just cannot convince to take them with you for travel nursing, then you're going to want to check this part out. Some of the pros here is you get to make genuine travel nurse money, meaning stipends, high hourly rate, and you get to work within a 3-hour radius from home, or whatever radius you feel comfortable enough going to outside of your house. And most contracts that you're going to take will be 36 hours a week, meaning you will be home 4 days every week. So you will always see your family. But like with every style of travel nursing, here are the downsides to look out for. Finding your preferred contract is a little bit more difficult because you are limited to the radius that you are traveling around your home. Another downside, you have to do lots of driving, and I mean lots of driving. So be prepared to put insane amounts of miles on your vehicle. On top of that, if you live somewhere like in the Midwest or an area where winter is unavoidable, then there's going to be a good portion of the year where you have to do travel nursing in wintry conditions, and it's horrible. I don't know anybody who likes driving in winter, but eventually you make enough money that you can start making choices like, I think I'm going to take this entire winter off, which is a solid idea. Okay, 2 styles to go. And all I'm going to say is the last style, I'm not entirely sure how these people exist, but they do, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about when we get there. But let's move on. 5th style of travel nursing, the local travel nurse. I cannot hype this up enough for people who are nervous or scared to get into travel nursing. If the idea of leaving your friends and family give you anxiety, or if you hate the idea of risking losing everything like your job when you quit it to pursue travel nursing, or if you have more of a try it before you buy it mentality about things in life, then this type of travel nursing, the local travel nurse, is going to be a godsend for you. The pros, you never have to worry about IRS regulations because your entire check will already be taxed. Sure, you're not going to get the stipend, but it doesn't really matter because in today's travel nurse market, the hourly rate is so high you will not miss it, I promise. Especially if you're working right around the corner from home. On top of that, if the hospital that you're actually at needs you enough, you could extend your contracts indefinitely, meaning the 1-year requirement for travel nurses would not apply to you because you're local and you're not taking stipends. Plus, the amount of driving that you'd have to do would be minimal. I'm not lying when I say I hype this one up for people. But here's the bad part of local travel nursing. Local contracts are some of the hardest to find. And it's not because they're not available. It's just because a lot of the time, hospitals will have a policy in place that if you do not live farther than 50 miles from their facility, they will not hire you because they don't want to risk their staff being jealous, and they don't want to risk their staff leaving to do travel nursing locally as well. Another downside, kind of like I said, you're not going to get a stipend, so you're not going to make as much as a typical travel nurse, even though you're going to make way more than a staff nurse. And on top of that, if you end up working at that kind of a facility for long enough, the staff will find out that you live right around the corner, and they're probably not going to be way too welcoming about that. Which is kind of a shame because you're really just there to help, and you think they would appreciate it, but that's not always the case. Okay, and the last style of travel nursing, the style that I will never understand, are the people that take full-time travel nursing positions while keeping their full-time staff positions. Like, have you ever heard of dropping to contingent? There are some people in this world that are absolute workaholics. One of the perks of being a travel nurse is the ability to make enough money that you can take 3 to 6 months off without even batting an eye. And then when you're ready to take another contract, you just jump right in. But not these people. These people love working. So let's go over the pros and cons if that's you. Oh, and real quick, right before, don't forget to like this video, subscribe. Also, let me know what your favorite style of travel nursing is in the comments below. And then maybe if we get enough engagement, YouTube's gonna push this video out to people who need to see it. Just out here helping the world become travel nurses, right? You never have to worry about missing out on benefits because you will always have them because you haven't given up your full-time job. You're going to get paid very well because you're crazy enough to work minimum 72 hours a week. So you're getting multiple checks regularly. And on top of that, no one can ever say that you are not the hardest worker that they have ever seen. So it comes with some kind of bragging rights. And just a quick side note, I cannot understand for the life of me how people can work this much and not be burnt out. Like, I have met these people. These people are real, guys. They're real. And they work like this, and I just don't understand it. I mean, I'm proud of you. Like, great job, but like, how? Con number 1. There's no way these guys sleep, right? Like, that has to be a con. Not being able to sleep ever. Like, you have to sacrifice sleep in order to work this much. On top of that, if you're not prepared to spend every waking second of your life either working or thinking about how you're going to prepare to go to work soon, then this probably is not the style for you. Matter of fact, I would say that is a huge mistake. And if you want to know about other huge mistakes that new travel nurses often make and how to fix it, I made a video about that, which should be up on your screen right now, so go check it out, give it a like, let me know what your favorite part is. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Travel Nurse Rich, and I will see you next time.